let's get into some locks. Ashton,
Okay.
um,
Yeah.
we can't do any worse than we did last week, right?
That's right. And I will say we start out so well. We start out just on a heater. I think I'm just over 500. I'm 10-8. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm just attempting to hang on. It's just some semblance of respectability, I guess.
Sure.
Oregon State versus Stanford. Oregon State favored by 7. Stanford hasn't covered a spread all year. They're over. And Oregon State's better than people think. Oregon State's a good football team. They've lost back-to-back games, but they played really good competition in those games. Those aren't games that they were supposed to win. I like
Mm-hmm.
Oregon State to win and cover at Stanford against the trees. Let's go with the Oregon State Beavers. That's lock number 1.
-7.
Minus
Correct.
7. That's
Yes.
correct.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many different directions. I would love to go BYU +4 against
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame. Like I'm gonna just
Fade me,
gonna.
man.
Is that? Are you on? Are
No,
you on
I'm
Notre
not
Dame?
on Notre Dame. But yeah, maybe you just need to just wait, let me make all my picks. Then you just go the opposite direction on all.
Done. Let's do it.
Okay, so I'll start off with Tennessee. I kind of showed this one earlier a little bit. They're -2.5 against LSU. I think they're at least a field goal better. I just think that LSU's weakness fits Tennessee's strength a little too
Mm,
well. I think
mm-hmm.
Tennessee's Hendon Hooker's going to have himself a field day. And I like that it's at noon, not at night. So maybe that neutralizes the home field advantage just a tiny bit. It doesn't neutralize it. I'm just saying, like, maybe takes it away just a tiny bit.
Sure.
I'm going Michigan -21.5 against Indiana.
Yeah.
I will be rooting for Indiana very hard in this game, but I think Indiana might actually be trash this year. They just lost to Nebraska, and it wasn't all that close.
They're 3-2. They're still 3-2. They're fine.
Yeah, they might be 3-9 before long. I'm
Okay.
just saying.
Okay.
And I just think Michigan is significantly better. I wish it was 21 instead of 21.5, but I'll still take it. I think Michigan is significantly better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Ohio State -25.5 against Michigan State. I just
Yeah.
think that Ohio State's probably not 25.5 points better than Michigan State. They might be, but just the matchup is terrible. And Michigan
Yeah.
State, just their secondary is horrible. Ohio State is like the best team in the country at beating bad secondaries. So
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
to me feels like the side to be on. I'm taking North Carolina +4.5 at Miami. I don't feel quite as strong about this one, but I do think that North Carolina is probably better than Miami. And getting 4.5, another home field advantage that's barely a home field advantage at all. I just trust North Carolina's offense to put up a lot of points. They played well on defense last week. They held a team to 10 points. I don't know if they can hold Miami below 28, but I think they can score 35. So to me, that feels like North Carolina. Before I move on, any that you want to counter me on because you need to fade me.
Yeah. Somehow I have a feeling that Michigan State is going to be putting all their chips in the middle in this
Okay.
game. Not that they're going to win,
Right.
but I think they'll lose by like 17. You know what I'm saying? Like home game, like inspired performance. People have been doubting us.
We haven't had a lock fight this year.
We haven't. I'm not going to pull the trigger on that one. I think I'm just going to let it set. I would love to go Utah. I'm going to let that one set too. I'm going to go viewer. Like you just kind of go and you spray the board. Can we talk about the Red River just a little bit?
Yeah.
Texas is favored by 7. That feels massively high considering it might be Hudson Card at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Are you on a side? Are you going to have a side on that one?
I'm not touching that one at all. I'm staying away from Red River, basically on principle every year.
Okay. Yeah. No, I like that. All right. Then my last one will be Arkansas covering 8. I think I might even be able to get 8.5. Get an underdog. You. Yeah. So Mississippi State, I like Mississippi State. I think they're really, really good.
I can get you a 9.
Let's do that. Right. I'm going to have Arkansas covering 9. I don't even know if they'll win outright, but I think these teams are closely matched. Now, sure. I think Mississippi State can absolutely throw the ball in Arkansas. I do think that, no doubt. I think Arkansas is really good at getting pressure. We didn't talk about that enough. Arkansas led the nation in sacks going into last week. Now, I don't know if they still are. I know they had a couple against Bryce Young. I don't know if they still are, but they're at least very, very close.
Mhm.
I will say this: Will Rogers is really good when he's on time, when everything's clean, but it gets muddled when he started to get some pressure. Everything speeds up. The timing routes aren't on time anymore, and that's a dangerous thing. So I think Arkansas can run the ball. I think they're a little undervalued here after losing back-to-back games. I think Arkansas is a really good football team. I think they cover 9 points. Those are my 2 locks.
I like that. I kind of agree with both of yours. I'm not going to actually make them locks for myself.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't.
Yeah, you're welcome. I do have a few more. I got Kansas State -2 versus Iowa State.
Okay.
I just think they're at least a field goal, if not more, better than Iowa State. I really like Kansas State. I've kind of been on them all year.
Yeah.
And I don't know that Iowa State is. I think they're solid. I think Kansas State is legit good. So
Sure.
that to me, that line feels a little bit too low.
Okay.
And then I'm on Clemson -20.5 against Boston College. Boston College finally won a game against an ACC team last week against Louisville. Clemson's a lot better than Boston College. Their defensive line is going to absolutely eat Boston College up. Phil Dracovic is going to have a long day. He's been running for his life all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that it's right under 3 touchdowns.
The line's 20.5. I was going to say that's a very nice line for you.
Yes.
Yeah. Dracovic, poor guy. Feel a little sorry for him. Boston College has not been very good this year. I know they won last week, and we're still not really sure how.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a team that lost by 30 to Florida State. Like they lost by 17 to Virginia Tech. Their wins were Maine. They beat Maine, and somehow, for unknown reasons, they beat Louisville. So no, I don't mind that at all. I think Clemson. I will say, potential letdown game for Clemson after back-to-back big weeks for them. Possibility.
Yeah. And then my final one with the spread here is NC State -3 against Florida State. I'm fading Florida State a little bit here. I've just heard some whispers about some of the injuries they've got going on. I like Florida State. Like I think they're a good team, but I think NC State might be. I don't know if they're better than Wake Forest, but they're a top 3 team in the ACC. I think they're clearly better than Florida State. When I have a line this low, it's -3.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are, if they win the game, it'll be by at least 3 points. So this is one of those, kind of along with the North Carolina one, where I'm not like super confident in, which probably means it's the only one that hits. But
yeah,
so
that's right.
You don't really look at. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying you're undeterred. You just continue to spray the board out there, just all kinds of bets all over the place. Wisconsin 10-point favorite against Northwestern after firing their coach. Potential inspired performance there under Jim Leonhard. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Maybe it's the Georgia Tech scenario. After you fire your coach, you finally get to do the things you want to do. I know Braylon Allen said the team wasn't jacked about it, but I think like Leonard's been with the team. Like Jim Leonhard is part of the team, and he will be the interim coach. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that out as a lock. Wisconsin, winning and covering against Northwestern, 10 points. I think they go to Evanston, Illinois, and get it done.
Let's see if I can find you a better line than 10. I almost feel like I saw one somewhere. Give me just a second here.
9.5 would be nice.
Well, no, you're right. Nope, I just see 10 now. I'm sorry. I thought I saw a 9.5.
Yeah, no worries.
So Wisconsin -10. Yeah, I don't hate that. I've kind of given up on the trying to figure a team out right after they fire a coach because, like you mentioned, the Georgia Tech thing happened. We also saw Nebraska playing Oklahoma right after they fired Scott Frost and getting absolutely boat raced when everybody and their mother was on Nebraska that game.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're probably right. And I think Northwestern is terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just staying away from it.
Again, you're welcome. They've lost their last four to Duke. They lost to Southern Illinois. They lost to Miami of Ohio. And then they lost to Penn State. I feel like I'm on the right side there.
Yeah, I think you probably are. Almost the only way that it doesn't hit is just if Wisconsin kind of has that letdown the way Nebraska did.
Sure.
After firing a coach, which is probably less likely than Nebraska was, but who knows?